What are you preparing for? The zombie apocalypse, of course, man. The zombies are coming. The zombies are coming. Gotta be ready for when the zombies come, man. Things that are common. Things like hurricanes, blizzards, blackouts, crazy storms, wildfires, flooding. Probably the most common thing is the power going out. All right, so you want to see the stuff? I'll show you the stuff. It's both a boo-boo kit with some over-the-counter medicine and a trauma kit with, God forbid you need heavier duty stuff. This is my go bag. You start small and you build and build and build. You start small, get a little kit, build, build, build. Have you ever been caught in the rain without an umbrella or a raincoat? Or get a flat tire and not have a jack? Or come out to find your car is dead and you don't have jumper cables? Or the power goes out in your house and you realize that you don't have any flashlights, or the batteries are dead in your flashlight, or you know you have candles but you can't remember where you put them? So if you ever thought about being prepared for the next time you have one of these inconveniences, sit down, get out a pen and paper, and get ready to take some notes. We're going to go over how to start prepping in 5 steps. What's up, warriors? This is Kiyoshi Dave Herman with 5 Elements Tactical Training, here to share with you some warrior skills and drills that anyone can learn and everyone should know. If you're already following us on social media and that's how you found your way over to this channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the bell notification button, and YouTube will let you know when the next video drops, so you can get all sorts of great content from here as well. So what's prepping? Basically, it's an organized, systematic approach to planning and preparing for a variety of scenarios which would limit your ability to get the things that you rely on every day for health, safety, security, and comfort. One of the most common questions is, well, what are you preparing for? The zombie apocalypse, of course, man. The zombies are coming. The zombies are coming. Gotta be ready for when the zombies come, man. I have a lot of friends and students who are avid preppers. And some of the things that they're preparing for, I think, are cool. Well, if it happened, it ain't gonna be that cool, I don't think. I just don't know how practical a zombie apocalypse is. If that's your goal and that's your passion and that's something you're into and that's something you want to prepare for, have at it. But most of my students who come to me for help and tips and coaching on how to start prepping and how to get better at prepping, they're coming for things that are most common. Things like hurricanes, blizzards, blackouts, crazy storms, wildfires, flooding. No matter what the season, no matter where you live on the globe, there's some sort of crazy weather that brings some sort of crazy storm or some sort of crazy condition which really, really inconveniences you at least once or twice a year. Probably the most common thing is the power going out. So before you start prepping for the zombie apocalypse, not that you shouldn't, but maybe you should start with something more simple. If you're here for tips on how to start prepping, I would say start small, start easy, start simple. Start with the stuff that you already have in and around your house. The plan is really what's more important than the stuff. The stuff is cool, learning how to use the stuff is even better, but having a plan and organizing the stuff that you have is really what's most important. And that's where you should really start. Where are you prepping for? Is it for your home, for your vehicle, for the stuff that you carry with you every day? Is it for if you get stuck at work and something crazy happens? If it's when you're on vacation and something happens? Do you have another location that, like, oh man, the flooding is coming, I have somewhere to go? That place needs to be prepared. Who are you preparing for? Is it just for you? Do you have a whole family that's relying on you? Do you have elderly people in your family? Do you have little kids? Do you have infants or toddlers? Do you have anybody with special needs? What about your pets? You got to bring them with you. Once you have an idea of where you're going to be prepping for and who you're going to be prepping for and what you're going to be prepping for, the items that you need are going to fall into 5 basic categories before we even get to the steps or levels of how prepared you want to be. The 5 categories of items that you're going to need to stock up on: 1 is food and water, 2 clothes, 3 health and hygiene, 4 comfort items, and 5 survival gear. I'm going to rattle off a list of items in each category. I'm sure you could think of even more things, and the more you brainstorm with whoever it is that you're going to be preparing with, whether it's your friends or your family or people within your network, the more things you'll come up with that are suitable for you and your family or whoever you got to be taken care of and who's relying on you to keep them safe. Food and water. Non-perishable goods, canned goods like soup and fruits and vegetables and even canned meats. Dry goods like rice, beans, pasta, sugar, salt, flour, oils and spices for when you want to cook that stuff up. You also want to try and cover as many food groups as possible. And you also want to have a good supply of vitamins to supplement whatever stuff is lacking in canned goods and non-perishable items. Simple ideas are things like protein shakes and protein bars and meal replacement shakes and meal replacement bars and things like that. Stuff that you eat regularly, stuff that you like, stuff that you know if you're going to be stuck without power or whatever, like, it's not going to be so bad. When it comes to water, the formula is 1 gallon per person per day. Don't forget your pet food, pet vitamins, pet supplies. Clothes. When it comes to clothes and blankets, it's about dressing for and having clothes for the climate that you're in or the climate that you think you're going to be going to. Things that you would pack in a suitcase, layers of clothing, shirts, underwear, thermal underwear, pants with pockets, extra socks, lots of extra socks, comfortable shoes, sturdy shoes, but comfortable shoes with laces, a good belt, hat, like a knit hat, like a hat for keeping you warm, and a baseball cap to keep the sun out of your eyes and keep the top of your head from getting sunburned. Sunglasses, bandanas. You could use those for a million things, like a mask. Don't forget a mask. Raincoat, rain jacket, rain poncho. Health and hygiene can break down into a few other subcategories. The first one is medicine or medications and over-the-counter medications. So like your prescription meds that you take every day and over-the-counter stuff that you got to use from time to time. Things like Excedrin, Tylenol, Motrin, Aleve, Benadryl, Imodium, Tums, Pepto-Bismol, Dayquil, NyQuil. The next subcategory, toiletries. The stuff that you would have in your suitcase in that little bag. Toothbrush, toothpaste, dental floss, mouthwash, shampoo, conditioner, hairbrush, hair ties. Skincare is really important. It's your body's natural base layer. Soap, washcloth, towel, baby wipes, baby powder, moisturizer, sunblock, bug spray, chapstick. You also need a first aid kit of some sort, a little boo-boo kit, maybe even like some sort of trauma kit. To just get started, stick with a basic first aid kit. Things to deal with small cuts or scrapes. Band-Aids, Neosporin, maybe some peroxide, Bactine, some gauze pads, some tape, instant heat packs, instant ice packs, ace bandage for compression or wrap like you get a sprained ankle or something, hydrocortisone cream, aloe vera for sunburn, and of course tweezers and a thermometer. Basic cleaning supplies. Things like Clorox, Lysol, wipes, sponges, paper towels, things that you could use to clean other things. Plain bleach. You could use that for cleaning and disinfecting and also for purifying water. Comfort items. These are the things that would help you just pass some time, take your mind off of whatever crazy thing you're trying to deal with, or kind of occupy the people around you while you get your head in the game, get focused on your plan, and get to work. Your comfort items are going to be things like chargers for your gadgets, your phones, iPads, or whatever. To charge those rechargeable battery pack things. I love those. Those are super handy. Snacks, sweets, chocolate, books, magazines, coloring books, puzzles, crayons. You know you could use a crayon as a candle? Stuff that'll work without any power, without any electricity. All right, survival gear. I'm sure some of my prepper buddies are already watching this video like, come on, man, I want to hear about the gear. Give me the gear, give me the gear. Flashlights with extra batteries. Lanterns with extra batteries. Or rechargeable. Especially the ones that you could plug into your car to recharge them. There are a couple different types of lights. A flashlight will direct light in one direction, and that's it. A lantern or some other type of light will light up the room. Battery operated or solar powered or crank powered weather radio. Maybe a camp stove with some propane. Those little green propane cans, super handy. Duct tape, rope, paracord or 550 cord, twine, a whistle for signaling help, a cutting tool like a knife, a multi-tool, mess kit and eating utensils, can openers, more than one, life straw or other water filtration method, lighters, matches, flint and steel, tinder, or some other means of starting a fire. Since we're on the topic of starting a fire, you should have some fire extinguishers as well, in case you got to put a fire out in a jiffy. Tarps, bungee cords, ratchet straps, jumper cables for your vehicle, trauma kit, tourniquet, quick clot, bag valve mask. All right, so now that we got the 5 categories out of the way, here are the 5 steps or the 5 levels to get started with prepping. Real simple, the 5 steps are basically picking the items that you need most and the people that you are helping prepare for will need most, starting with the shortest amount of time and working toward the longest amount of time. Step 1 is EDC, or everyday carry. These are the things that you use every single day. You probably already have some sort of plan or some sort of system that you follow without even realizing that you do it. Before you leave the house, you probably have your keys and your phone and your wallet and your coffee. I never leave the house without coffee. I'm sure there are certain items in your car all the time. Certain items in your pocketbook or backpack all the time. Certain things in your pocket all the time. Certain things you're used to using around your house or in your office or at work all the time. So to get started, keep it so simple. Keep it cheap. Keep it easy. Keep it something that's manageable. Create a fun challenge for you and your family. Just put together a plan of the things that you or whoever else in your house needs on a daily basis. Write it down, go through the list, and take a look around your house and just start organizing the things that you already have. Think of things that in the past, oh man, we had that hurricane, the power went out for 3 days and all the meat went bad, or we didn't even get to all that stuff, or I really wish I had some charcoal or propane for the gas tank or whatever. When I was younger, I used to go camping all the time, and I got better at camping from bad camping trips. I went on a camping trip one time, and the only food I brought was in cans. I brought one can opener, and the thing broke while I was trying to open the first can. I felt like a damn caveman trying to hack my way into all these different cans. And I was like, what am I going to do? And I didn't want to just give up. I wanted to try and man, there's a trick where you rub them on cement to try and wear through the can and get in there, and you could eat soup. You didn't even got to heat it up. There was no cement. There was no concrete. I was camping in the woods. I didn't want to stab the thing and stab my hand. I didn't have a multi-tool with me. I only had one can opener and the damn thing broke. Well, every time I've ever been camping since, everywhere I go, even to this day, I have at least 2 different ways to open a can. I don't even open cans that often. But I will never forget that lesson, man. For a beginner just starting out in prepping, start small and expand on it as you need to. Before you know it, you'll have more stuff than you need, and you'll starting to scale back. You'll start trying to scale back on the stuff that you have because you realize, I don't need all this stuff, or I don't need all this gear, or I just really need the basics. I have a few students that are Eagle Scouts, and when I looked at their pack of what they take camping with them, it is impressive how little they rely on. Another great idea is things that have more than one function. Paracord, 550 cord, that stuff, there's a million uses for that. Duct tape, a million uses for that. A tarp, a million uses for that. Things that could double as other things. But always remember, 2 is 1, 1 is none. If all you have is one of something and it breaks, gets lost, or whatever, and now you're stuck without it, you're going to find yourself in a predicament. So the idea is redundancy. More than one way to start a fire, more than one way to filter water, get water, drink water, heat water, boil water. In just a second, I'll show you the different types of kits that I have, both first aid and for basic preparedness, for a variety of different situations and scenarios that are part of my system. I'm not going to break into the whole bag because those will be videos all on their own. But just to give you an idea of the different levels of prepping. Step 2, being prepared to get through 24 hours without power. What items do you think you need to get through 24 hours where you live at your home without power? In that 24-hour blackout kit, you might have things like flashlights for everybody in the house. Now there's the flashlights that you need to see what you're doing. There are the headlamp ones that you put on your head so you can see and have your hands free. And then they make small LED lanterns that battery or rechargeable battery ones that you should have extra batteries for, but it'll light up the room or a small area so that it's not just unidirectional lighting. In that kit, you should have some bottles of water and some snacks. Maybe in there you'll have a small camp stove. So my house, we have electric stove, electric oven. If the power goes out, we can't cook. So I have a Coleman camp stove. And those little green cans of propane, I got a whole bunch of those. Hook them up, and now all of a sudden we're cooking with gas again. You go back to your list, your 5 categories, and see which things you think you need on a daily basis. You're going to need some light, some candles, some extra batteries, some food, some snacks, some cans of stuff, some water, maybe a case of water in your pantry. They even make shelf-stable milk. If your kids want cereal and milk, you bust out the shelf-stable milk, box of cereal, and they could eat too. Some puzzles, some games, some coloring books, transistor radio with some spare batteries, put on some music, listen to some tunes, brighten the mood, make the best of it. Step 3, are you prepared to go a week without power? Once you make it past the idea of being prepared every day and being prepared for that 24 hours without stuff, the next level is getting ready for a week. And now as you get ready for a week, some of those things are going to be, you're going to need more canned items, you're going to need more bottled water, you're going to need maybe a filtration system like a Brita filter or something like that. Maybe stock up your pantry with rice and beans and pasta and shelf-stable stuff, stuff that's easy to cook, stuff that you know your kids are going to eat, stuff that you know they're going to like, stuff that you're going to like. Have an extra propane tank for your gas grill outside. Next time you're at Costco or BJ's or Sam's Club or whatever store you have by you, get one of those big packs of batteries in the common sizes that you're going to use, AA, AAA, C, D, whatever. Those always come in handy. A week without power, you might want to get started on some of the projects that you've had laying around for a while around the house. Cleaning out some closets, straightening out the garage, working on the garden. Things that'll help keep you busy, keep you occupied, and be a little bit productive, which always makes you feel a bit better at the end of the day. I'm sure everyone could use a little bit more time away from the screens. Are you ready for a month with no power? I'm willing to bet that just with what you have in your house right now, you could probably get through a week. You'll get by. It might be inconvenient. It might be uncomfortable. It's probably going to be annoying. You might be getting on each other's nerves, but you could survive. Once you get to a month, that's where a lot of people say, man, I don't know if I have enough food in my house to last that long, or water to last that long. Aside from canned goods and rice and beans and pasta, there's a lot of other kinds of food that have really, really long shelf lives. Freeze-dried foods, camping foods, things that you rip open a bag, you pour in boiling water, you close the top, you wait a few minutes, and you got a meal. Some are really tasty, some maybe you might not like, some are kind of high in sodium. It's gonna make you thirsty, you're gonna want more water, gotta have extra water on hand. There's other types of beverages in addition to water, or things that you could add to your water to help you get more hydration from the water that you're drinking. Once you start expanding your preps to last you a month or so, you should have some tools, maybe some spare lumber for larger repairs, crazier things that might have gone on around your house, bigger projects that you have on deck. A lot of people are not prepared to go a month without electricity, without being able to get things like food, water, medicine, and things like that. Desperate times force good people to go to desperate measures to get things for themselves and their families. Around the month mark is where you should start thinking about how you would protect the preps that you have, how you would protect your home, your family, yourself, your perimeter, your neighbor. We have a whole nother segment on just home defense, which is again for another series of videos. Whether you would use a tool for the yard like a shovel or an axe or a whatever to defend yourself and your family, or you have a firearm, these are things that maybe you should have like cleaned and ready and ammunition nearby. Always keep that stuff safe, but definitely have a means of protecting yourself and your family. I don't know if we're at the point yet for the long range rifle with the scope and the night vision goggles and the machete and the samurai sword just yet, although any one of those would be a fantastic means for defending your home. Shotguns work great too, but if you've never shot a shotgun, well, buckle your seatbelt, they got quite the kick. Definitely at the month mark, you should expand your first aid kit and your trauma kit and your over-the-counter medicines and have at least a month's worth of your prescription medicines as well. Step 5, 3 months. Imagine 3 months without power. No Wi-Fi, no TV, no computer. My kids would go nuts by lunchtime without that, let alone 3 months. 3 months will take you into the next season. So do you have clothes that are ready to go for whatever the next season is, whether it's going to get warmer or colder, rainier or drier? Is there going to be snow? Do you have snow boots, snow gloves? Is it going to be like bathing suit weather? Do you have flip-flops ready? Food and water to last 3 months? Think of each person in your house times about 2,000 calories a day, and then start going through the food that you have on hand that's shelf-stable to last that long, and do you have enough to feed them for that long? Maybe it's time to start planting a garden. Bust out that .22 rifle and think about how you're going to start hunting maybe. Start eating some of the things that maybe you didn't want to eat or didn't think you would ever eat. But everybody's getting hungry. You're getting low on supplies. You got to feed your family. Dust off that old fishing rod. Figure your way where you're going to go fishing. Maybe you should have some plan on how you're going to catch rain, filter the rain, purify the rain, drink the rain. Where can you find some firewood? If you're out of propane, you're out of charcoal, and you still got to cook. Once you get to the level of prepping for 3 months, a really important thing to start thinking about is bartering. What stuff do you have that might have value to somebody else? What stuff do you have that you have extra of that you could trade with somebody else to get something that they have extra of? When it comes to bartering, you might stock up on stuff that you don't even use, but you know other people like cigarettes, or those little bottles of alcohol, or ammunition in calibers of guns that you don't even have but are common and popular with other people. Travel-sized toiletries. You come across a good sale on any one of these items, grab a whole bunch of them, put them in a bag or put them in a box or something that you could use it for the next time you go on vacation, or that's something that you could trade with somebody else who needs one of those things. Say, well, what do you have to trade? Barter. Super important stuff. One of the things that most preppers are like super jazzed about is bug out bags. Now, I have a bug out bag. Everybody in my family has a bug out bag. But that's a whole nother video of what should go in a bug out bag, how to build a bug out bag, what I keep in mind, what do you have in yours. But before you worry about creating a bug out bag, the things that you would really need to prepare for are really about bugging in. Like locking in your house or trapped in your house or going to be in your house. You got a great shelter over your head. You know where everything is. You have plenty of food. You have all the comforts of home. You have a bathroom. You have your clothes and your bicycle and your stuff all right there. You have doors and windows that you could lock. You have a network of people, your neighbors and family that are close by. You know your way around. Before you start worrying about heading off to the hills or the wilderness or wherever you think you're going to bug out to, think about how you just prep where you already are. Keep that stuff safe. Keep you and your family safe. Keep everybody fed and hydrated, warm and clothed, safe. Most of all, safe. But if you're failing to plan, you're planning to fail. A go bag or a 72-hour bag or a bug out bag basically should have 3 days or 72 hours worth of stuff to keep you going, either to get you to your next location, to get you to a shelter, to get you out of town, to help you bug out. All right, so you want to see the stuff? I'll show you the stuff. All right, guys, in a nutshell, this is a first aid kit and this is a first aid kit. This is a pack and this is a pack. When you start small, start cheap, start simple. Take a walk around your house, get your plan, get organized, take a look at the things that you need all the time, and start with little things that are super simple, super cheap, stuff that you already have around the house that you don't have to spend any money on. I have first aid kits like this all over the place. I have one in my desk at work. I have one in every single one of these bags, in my car, every one of our cars. My kids' go bags, my kids' backpacks has some sort of first aid kit like this. You can get it for a couple bucks at any store. This is in my everyday carry bag. This I keep in my patrol bag. This is like a boo-boo kit, like scratches, scrapes, Band-Aids, Neosporin, some tape and whatnot. This is a trauma kit. This is like, God forbid, I wind up in something funky and then I need a tourniquet or some quick clot to stop a lot of bleeding. This is a first aid kit that goes in my go bag. I have another one like this that I keep, that goes from vehicle to vehicle. It opens up into two parts. It's both a boo-boo kit with some over-the-counter medicine and a trauma kit with, God forbid you need heavier duty stuff. This is the first aid kit that I keep in my house. This is the thing that if we had to grab it and go, we can. I have a whole nother bin with a decent amount of stuff in there to replace, supplement, and refill this one. So this is like the first aid kit. It's bright orange. Some painter's tape with magic marker that says first aid kit in case somebody else doesn't know what it is. Make sure nobody throws it out or throws it with the toolbox. It's always in the same spot in the house so everybody knows where to grab it. And a ton of stuff in here. Again, for boo-boos, for some trauma, some over-the-counter stuff, some simple basic first aid stuff. Definitely some personal protective equipment, masks, gloves, flashlight strapped to your head so that you could see what you're doing and still have your hands free. This is a pack and this is a pack. This is something that just sits in my truck all the time. It's got some cord, cutting tool, multi-tool, some stuff to get a fire going, bandana, some duct tape, a lighter. Again, all of these things are videos in and of themselves. I had some shoulder surgery. This is a sling pack. This was kind of like when I couldn't get into my pockets. This was an everyday carry bag that I had been using when I had a sling on. Sling pack, sling on my arm. I didn't make up what it's called. This is my normal everyday carry backpack. It's kind of like Mary Poppins had that magic bag. She just kept reaching in and stuff kept coming out. Again, it's outfitted for me. The stuff that I use every day, it's got phone chargers, extra batteries, flashlight, multi-tool, over-the-counter medicine, some toiletries, all the things from those lists. It's not going to last me, 3 days or a month or whatever. I don't have any spare clothes in here. Hat, gloves, work gloves, stuff like that. Some snacks and protein shakes. I always have a bottle of water in there, something to read. Stuff that if I'm going to be taking a train into the city, I'm going to be sitting around doing a security gig for 16 hours or longer. I bring my bag and it's got all the stuff I need in there. This is my go bag. there's more than enough stuff in here to last me 72 hours. It's way heavier than the go bag that my family has. My wife is petite. Hers is way smaller. My kids are young. Their go bags are way smaller. So I have enough stuff in here that would help me make some shelter for me and for them. Some tools that they don't need, but I know how to use. A lot of stuff. That's a video and a half all by itself. The whole purpose of this is to show you that you start small and you build and build and build. You start small, get a little kit, build, build, build. This was bigger at one point and I'm scaling it back. I'm trying to make it lighter and have things in here that do more than one thing. Again, redundancy. I have more than one way to start a fire or purify water and all that type of stuff. But I also wanted to, like, how do I do that in less items, if that makes any sense. If you got questions, put them in the comments below. If you got any suggestions for some of the stuff that I have or some of the stuff that I'm talking about, put it in the comment section below. If somebody else has a question or a comment and you got the answer, go for it, man. Everybody help each other. That's what it's all about. Just be nice, be kind, be polite, be respectful. Be the change you want to see in the world around you. If you made it this far and you like what I'm teaching and preaching, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, hit that like button. If you're really digging it and you want more, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you're like, oh my God, I can't wait for the next thing, go ahead and hit the bell notification and YouTube will let you know when the next video drops. That's all I got for now, warriors. So until our paths cross again, pray for the best, prepare for the rest. I'm Kiyoshi Dave Herman with 5 Elements Tactical Training. Thanks for watching.